Здравствуйте! Welcome to the Russian language classroom. So, I would like to tell you one more equivalent of Здравствуйте, which is a less formal one. We say Привет. Привет is an informal way of greeting others. Привет you say when you meet someone who is younger and who is your friend. Привет. So, hello and welcome to the Russian language classroom. So, before moving on, let us quickly revise the last lesson. If you remember, in the last lesson we had done the interrogative word chei, which means whose. Chei это дом. Whose is this house? And how will you answer this question? We use a possessive pronoun. Possessive pronoun like moi, maya, mayo, mai, twoi, twoya, twoyo, twoi, nash, nasha, nashe, nashi, vash, vasha, vashe, vashi, ivo, iyo and ich. So, for my we have moi. Chei eta dom, eta moi dom, this is my house. Eta tvoi dom, this is your house. Eta nash dom, this is our house. Eta vash dom, this is your house. Eta ivo dom, this is his house. Eta iyo dom, this is her house. Eta ich dom, this is their house. So, that is how we answer this question chei eta dom. Now comes chia eta karta. So, here as you can see, chia denotes the feminine gender of a noun. Chia eta karta. Karta is a feminine gender noun. Whose is this map? And how do you answer this question? Eta maya karta, eta tvaya karta, eta vasha karta, eta nasha karta, eta ivo karta, eta iyo karta, eta ich karta. Similarly, for neuter gender nouns we use chio. Chio eta pismo. Chio eta pismo. Whose is this letter? Eta mayo pismo, eta tvayo pismo, eta nashe pismo, eta vashe pismo, eta ivo pismo, eta iyo pismo, eta ich pismo. Now comes the fourth question, which stands for plural nouns. Chi eta chassi. Whose is this watch? And how do you answer this question? What forms do we use? Mai, twai, nashi, vashi. My, your, our, your, ivo, his, iyo, her and ich, their. And if you remember, ivo, iyo, ich, they do not change their forms as per the gender and number of the noun. The first topic that we are going to discuss today is demonstrative pronouns in Russian. What are demonstrative pronouns? As the name suggests that these pronouns demonstrate a noun. So, what are those demonstrative pronouns that we are going to discuss today? They are etat, which is this, and tot, tot, that is that. Let me tell you first that etat and tot, this and that, they have four forms. As you can see here, masculine, feminine, neuter and plural. What does it mean? It means that they change their forms as per the number and gender of a noun. For example, etat dom tut. Etat dom tut. What does it mean? This house is here. Etat dom tut. A tot dom tam, and that house is there. This house is here, etat dom tut, a tot dom tam, and that house is there. So, this is how we use these demonstrative pronouns in Russian language. So, this was masculine form of etat and tot. What about the feminine? Eta and ta. Eta karta tut, a ta karta tam. this map is here and that map is there. Eta karta sleva, ata karta sprava. This map is on the left and that map is on the right. Neuter gender form of etat is eta with o ending. And how do we use that in a sentence? Eta pismo tooth, atto pismo tam. Eta and to. And the plural form of etat is echi. Echi, and plural form of tot is che. Echi chissi, jas, jas is here. So, for tooth and jas are synonymous. Echi chissi jas, ache chissi tam. These watches are here and those watches are there. So, let us repeat all the forms once again. Etat, tot, this and that. Eta, ta, eta, to, echi, che. And before moving on to next topic, let me tell you that this eta and etat are different. Eta, if you remember, for example, eta dom. Eta dom is different from etat dom. How come this difference? As you can see, after eta dom, I have put a full stop here, which means that eta dom is a complete sentence. But here, there is a continuation. So, I have not put a full stop here. So, eta dom is a complete sentence in which eta is an introductory marker and dom is a predicate. While in etat dom is the part of the same subject. So, etat dom is subject and the predicate has to follow after this. For example, etat dom tooth. So, without tooth, this sentence remains incomplete. So, you have to keep this thing in mind while using the demonstrative pronouns. This eta is different from etat. Eta dom is, this is a house. Eta dom, this house. So, again I have already told you that this etat dom is an incomplete sentence. This is only the subject and the predicate has to follow. For example, etat dom tooth, this house is here. While eta dom is a complete sentence, this is a house. Okay, the next topic we have in this lesson is how do we say numbers in Russian. In this lesson, we will only learn how to say 0 and 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 10. And after 10, we will learn in the next lessons. So, let us start. So, I have started from 0. How do we say 0 in Russian? How will you pronounce this word? N, O, L and soft sign. Nol. Nol is 0. For 1, we say Ajin. O, D, E, N. And this E is stressed, O is unstressed. So, unstressed O will be A. Ajin. For 2, we say Dua. Nol, Ajin, Dua. For 3, we have a similar sounding word that we use in English, 3. 3 and 3. As you can find the similarity between English and Russian, 3 and 3. For 4, we use a little different word which is chittiri, ch, ye, ta, I, ra, ye, and stress is on I. Chittiri. Nol, Ajin, Dua, 3, Chittiri. And again for 5, we use a similar sounding word which we use in Hindi. For 5, we have in Russian as Pyach. Pyach or Panch in Hindi. Pyach. Nol, 0, Ajin, 1, Dua, 2, 3, 3, Chittiri, 4, Pyach, 5. Let's move on to 6. How do we say 6 in Russian? Shest, shest, sh, ye, s, t and soft sign. Shest. For 7 we have same, s, ye, m and soft sign. Shest, same. For 8 we have v, o, s, ye, m and soft sign. And how do we pronounce this word? Vosim. Shest, same, vosim. For 9 we have the, ye, v, ya, t and soft sign. And please remember, stress is on ye. So, this ya will be reduced, and reduced a is normally pronounced as e. So, how will you pronounce this word? Jevit, jevit. Jevit is 9. For 10, the, ye, s, ya, t and soft sign, and stress is on ye again, and this ya is reduced. So, how will you pronounce this word? Jesit. So, let us repeat them once again. Nol is 0, Ajin 1, Dwa 2, 3 3, Chitiri 4, Pyach 5, Shest 6, Siem 7, Vosim 8, Jevit 9 and Jesit 10. Nol, Ajin, Dwa, 3, Chitiri, Pyach, Shest, Siem, Vosim, Jevit and Jesit. The next topic in this lesson is very important, that is verbs in Russian. How do we denote a verb in Russian? So, first tell me, what do you mean or how do you understand what is a verb? A verb is when we denote an action or state of an object in a sentence. Let me repeat it once again. A verb denotes an action or state of an object in a sentence. Russian verbs are very peculiar in some ways. That is, the verbs in Russian language are conjugated with respect to person, number and tense. And how do you understand this term conjugation? Conjugation is when the infinitive form changes according to the person, number and tense. We will discuss a verb, we will see the endings of the verbs will change according to the person, number and tense. So, what happens when we conjugate a verb? The root remains the same and the ending changes. For example, let us take this verb. This is ch, e, t, a stressed and t and soft sign. This is the first verb that we are going to learn today is chitach, chitach. So, I have separated this t and soft sign from this chita. Why? Because chita is the root and t and soft sign is the ending. So, chitach is to read. Chitach. And how do we conjugate this verb chitach? As I told you that the form of the infinitive chitta, this ending will change. And how do we change this ending? Ya, chitta, you. So, from with the root we add you and the and. So, what remains is chitta, you. So, we remove this te and soft sign and we add you. So, ya, chitta, you. Ya, chitta, you. I read. With ti, chitta which is the root, plus we add yesh, chittayesh, ti chittayesh, you read. Next is on, ana, he and she. On, ana, chitta, again the root, plus we add yet. On, ana, chittayet, he or she reads. So, we have Ya Chitayu, I read, Ti Chitayesh, you read, O Nana Chitayat, he or she reads. Next, we have plural numbers of the different persons. First person plural number Mui, Chita plus Yem, Mi Chitayam, we read. Next is we, which is second person plural number. So, what form do we use here? Chita plus ye che, chitaiche, we chitaiche, you read. And the next third person plural number, which is ani, chita root plus youth, ani chitayut, they read. So, we have 6 different forms of this chitach. So, this is what we call conjugation of a Russian verb. So, let us repeat them once again. Ya chitayu, ti chitayesh, ya chitayu, I read, ti chitayesh, you read, o nana chitayat, he or she reads, mi chitayam, we read, vi chitaiche, you read, ani chitayut, they read. So, let me tell you once again, this conjugation is common across the languages. If you remember in Hindi, how do we say an infinitive form? Padhna, likhna, and how do we conjugate those verbs? मैं पढ़ता हूँ, तुम पढ़ते हो, वह पढ़ता है, वह पढ़ती है, हम पढ़ते हैं. So, as you can see, I mean, we are changing the forms of the same verb padhna differently with different persons. The same way it is happening in Russian language. This is what we call conjugation. The conjugation pattern is common to many more Russian verbs. So, this is the first type of conjugation we have done, where the ending is a, te and soft sign, and what we have done is we have added different endings to the root, and that is how we have got this forms to be used with different persons. So, if we have a different verb other than chitach, for example, if I say jelach, jelach, how do you write this verb? The, ye, la, a, ta, soft sign. Jelach is again ta soft sign and a ending verb. So, the conjugation will be similar. So, how will you conjugate jelach? As I have already told you that the root will have to be remain same. So, jela will be same and will add you, yesh, yet, yem, yeche and youth. Jelach is to do. So, what will be the conjugation of jelach? Ya, jela, you, ti, jela, yesh, onana, jela, yet, mui, jela, yem, vi, jela, yeche, ani, jela, youth. Once again, ya jela, you, ti, jelayesh, I do, you do, onana, jelayet, he or she does, mi, jelayem, we do, vi, jelayche, you do, ani, jelayut, they do. So, I hope this type of conjugation you must have understood. So, let us move on to the next topic. Next topic we have in this lesson is the negation in Russian language. How do we denote negative sentences in Russian language? This is done with the help of the word niet. Niet and ni have their English counterparts, which is no and not. Niet is no and ni is not. So, let me show you how do we use niet in a sentence. I have written an interrogative sentence here. Eto vasha ruchka, eto vasha ruchka, is this your pen? Is this your pen? How will you answer this question in affirmative? Da is yes, eta maya ruchka. Yes, this is my pen. But what if you want to answer this question in negative? If you do not want to say that this is my pen, or if you want to say this is not my pen, this is yours, how will you say that? So, there are three ways to answer this question in negative. The first one is the short answer. You just say niyat. If someone asks you, eta vasha ruchka niyat, which will mean no, that is not my pen. Or you can say niyat eta ni maya ruchka, that is a complete answer. No, this is not my pen. Again, you can use a short answer, which is to use only niyat, no. And if you want to say a complete answer, you can use niyat eta ni maya ruchka, niyat eta ni maya ruchka. As you can see, we are using double negation here. Niyat, which is the Russian equivalent of no, and ni here is Russian equivalent of not. No, this is not my pen. So, this is the complete answer. Or you can extend it further also, if you want to add some more information to this negative sentence. Niyat eta ni maya ruchka eta ivo ruchka. What will it mean? No, this is not my pen, this is his pen. So, that is how we can answer this question in negative using these three constructions. Once again, let me repeat. Eta vasha ruchka, is this your pen? Da, eta maya ruchka. If you want to answer this question in affirmative, yes, this is my pen. And if you want to answer this question in negative, we will use either a short answer, which is niyat, no, or a complete answer, which is niyat eta ni maya ruchka, or you can extend it further by adding some more information, which is niyat eta ni maya ruchka eta ivo ruchka. This is not my pen, this is his pen. In the next part of this lesson, we will learn an interrogative word kak and how to pose a question with kak and how to answer them. The interrogative word kak can have two meanings, how and what. Let me show how they differ at different places when they mean how and when they mean what. So, this is kak. Kak means how or what. So, let us take the first sentence or first interrogative sentence we have. Kak on chitayat. Chitayat we have just done. Chitayat is to read. On is he, third person singular number. Kak, how? How does he read? How does he read? And how will you answer this question? Obviously, we will use an adverb. So, whenever kak means how, we are supposed to use an adverb while answering this question. So, the answer I have already written here. On chitayat, he reads miyadlinna. Miyadlinna is an adverb. Miyadlinna. Miyadlinna is slowly. So, he reads slowly. Kak on chitayat miyadlinna. Next interrogative sentence is kak jila. Kak jila we have already done. How are things or how are you? So, in both these sentences, kak means how. How are you? And how do you answer how are you? I am good, I am okay, I am very good. So, here I have written one such answer, kharasho. Kharasho is good. Kak jila? Kharasho. Let us take the third interrogative sentence. Kak was zavut. Kak was zavut. Kak was zavut we have done. It means what is your name? So, again kak here does not mean how, it means what. Kak was zavut, what is your name? And how do you answer? That also we have done. Minya zavut Gautam, Minya zavut Ramesh, Minya zavut Suresh, Minya zavut Geeta, Minya zavut Swagata, and so on. Minya zavut is my name is. Kakva zavut, Minya zavut, Gautam. Okay, let's take the last interrogative sentence that I have written. Kak vasha familia. Familia is your surname. Kak vasha familia. Vasha, as we have already done, vasha is an possessive pronoun which means your. Kak vasha familia. What is your surname? So, again in these two sentences, kak does not mean how, it means what. Kak vasha familia, maya familia Singh. Maya familia, again maya is a possessive pronoun derived from ya. Maya familia, my surname is Singh. Kak vasha familia, maya familia Singh, maya familia Rawat, maya familia Rao, and so on. So, as you can see, kak has two meanings, how and what, depending on the situation. For example, if it has a verb kakon chitayat, then it means how, and here kakva zavut means what is your name. Kak vasha familia, what is your surname. Okay, in the last part of the lesson, I will read out a text, a small text, and please listen to this text and try to repeat each sentences. The text is called Maya Simya, my family. Please listen to this text carefully. Eta ya, Minya zavut Ashok. Eta ya, this is me. Minya zavut Ashok. Ya student, I am a student. Eta maya mama, this is my mother. Iyo zavut Geeta, her name is Geeta. Ana dama khaziaika is homemaker or housewife, as we say. Ana dama khaziaika. Eta moi papa. Ivo zavut Ranjit. This is my father, his name is Ranjit. Own engineer, he is an engineer. Eta moi brat. Ivo zavut Ganesh. This is my brother, his name is Ganesh. Own programmist. He is a software engineer. Own programmist. Eta maya sistra. Iyo zavut Kanta. This is my sister, her name is Kanta. Ana studiantka. She is a student. So, with this text, I conclude this lesson. So, what all we have learned today? We have learned demonstrative pronouns and the verbs with arch ending. We have also learned numerals from 0 to 10, and apart from that, we did the negative constructions with the help of the word niyat and interrogative word kak. So, thank you, dasvidanya and spasiba. Da zavtra.